What's up there, people? 100-spoke riders. Haven't been out here in the zero-car garage out here lately, but today's a nice day. It's not 150 degrees outside in Arizona. So throughout the course of the weekend, my goal for this weekend is to deal with this power washer because the Tahoe's filthy. Pretty much every vehicle and motorcycle I own is filthy. So I need to get this going. I got both the oils to do the oil change. So all I got to do is change the oil and also put some gas in it. But since I'm doing all that, I want to give it a little maintenance and upkeep because the thing is filthy. It's been sitting us on the side of the table the whole time I was grinding and cutting and building this table. So it has all kind of grinder dust on it. And it's pretty nasty looking and dirty and crusty. So before I even do an oil change, the goal is to clean it up, change the oil, dump some gas in it, and get the water flowing through it again. Okay, it's already starting off interesting because according to these instruction manual, the drain plug for the oil is on the same side as the dipstick. Which, yeah, there's a dipstick there. And there's a plug there. But if that's the case, then what's this over here? It has a cutout so the oil can drip out. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't see why I would have to pull all this off the cart just to change the oil each time. I'm not trying to go through all that. So for right now, I'm just going to take this one off right here because I got my trusty homemade oil catcher that I just cut up with a pair of scissors. Old high C jug for the win. And we're going to do it like that and see what that happens. See how that drains out. I'm quite sure you don't have to drain both sides. Worst case scenario, I'll tip this damn thing over and make it all come out of this side, but I'm not trying to pull all this off every time I change the oil. But it's looking like I'm going to do that first, and then I'll let you know how it goes. Because but there's two sets of instructions, and the oil for the motor is different than the oil from the pump. So I'm going to do the motor oil first, and I'll do the pump oil after that. One step at a time. Well, it looks like, oh, my voice. That was kind of weird. It looks like that was the winning combination because that oil is dripping out of there and it is black and nasty. See if I can. Yeah. I'll give you a closer look at that black nasty oil once it gets through dripping. So, I'm going to let that go ahead and drip for a little while. Go inside and watch a few YouTube videos. Probably about hunting and fishing. Has nothing to do with mechanics, but oh well. Anyway, I'm going to let that drip. Go inside. Hell, I might play a little Red Dead Redemption. Tilt it on the side. But I think this will do. I think that's the one right there. I don't know what's wrong with them instructions, but I think that's the combination. There's no need to mess with that bolt right there. Maybe you could train it from both sides. I don't know. I don't care. I'll let that drip for a little while. And then I'll tilt it over. And I'll get back with you. Got all the old oil out. Got the new fresh oil in. This is the old oil right here. Just to let you see. Thing it didn't focus. The stick is pretty clean. It was definitely time. It was definitely time for new oil. It don't look that bad on the sticks, but man, it looks pretty bad in here. This was the break-in. This was the oil that came with the power washer when I bought it. So it's definitely time to dump it and put some fresh oil in. I ended up just using the Pennzoil. It said just use 10W30. So I got some of this Pennzoil 10W30 to put into the motor of the power washer. Now it's time to figure out how to drain the oil out the pump, because that is different than the oil in the motor. And then we can fire this bad boy up once I swap the pump oil. Okay, well, this one was a little bit crazy. Here's the oil here. As you see, it looked a little milky and funky. So it was definitely time to drain that pump oil also. This is the stuff that came with it. I really should have did this the day I bought this power washer. But I said, what the hell. I'll give it a try with what came with it. So I definitely put the stock stuff through its paces. This one was a little bit oddball because you had to take this little plug out underneath here, and it went right up underneath here like that. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there it is. That was in there like that. So I ended up using this 6mm to get that out of there. Swivel head ratchet. But the same paint little high C bottle, aka oil pan that I used to do the engine oil, I had to cut it down once again, even shorter, to wedge that in between there to catch that pump oil. And there was kind of a lot of oil coming out of there. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. That's drained out enough, and I'm going to pour. I went to O'Reilly's, and the pump oil in the manual actually calls for this synthetic 15W50 full synthetic. That's what it called for, full synthetic. So kind of an oddball 15W50, but yeah, the pump requires that, and the engine requires regular old 10W30. So I'm gonna dump some of this in here once I tighten that down, and it should be ready to go after that. I'm gonna use this is antique right here. I'm dripping oil everywhere, but I haven't used this thing in years, but it's coming handy today. I probably had this thing for 20 plus years, at least 20 plus years. This might have been the first funnel I ever got. I think my dad gave me this set, or I might have commandeered it from him. Sorry, Dad. But I've had it for about 20 some years. Old school funnel with little, see if I can drip it right there. Yeah, with a little filter in there. All right, I'm just out here. Let me get this oil in here, and then probably gotta jump in the old Tahoe with my jerry cans so I can go get some gas. Okay, now the oil is changed. Everything is, the pump oil is changed, the motor oil is changed. Everything's filled up and ready to go. So let the comedy show begin. Next step is for me to try to get this off this stool without breaking my back. Here we go. Wait a minute. I just thought about something before I take off the stool. My tires are flat. Let me pump some air in the tires. That way when I bounce it down there, it ain't all on the rim. Says 30 PSI. That feels good. I'm not trying to roll down the freeway, so as long as it's got something in there, because before it had nothing. All right, here we go. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. run to the gas station, get my little hot $5 in this old jerry can here. And after that, it'll be time to fire this bad boy up. Okay. The temperature is not really cold outside, but this is, I guess, will be a cold start because I haven't ran this thing in like 3 months, and I just dumped all the breakout oil out of it and put brand new fresh oil in. So let's see how many pulls it's going to take to get this thing started. Let the comedy show begin for real. Well, I guess that's not too bad. 14 pulls on brand new fresh motor oil, brand new fresh pump oil, and it hasn't even been started in about 3 months. So once again, Northern Tool and Honda motor for the win, I guess. I'm gonna let it run since it hasn't ran in like 3 months. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit and then squirt the water out. And that's probably all I'm gonna do for right now. I always take this off because it'll vibrate these out of it and they'll be laying on the ground if you run it with them still in there. I guess the magnet ain't strong enough. Alright, still running stronger than ever. I'm going to let it run for a couple more minutes. I'm just going to shut it down. I think I've accomplished my goal for today. Alright, people. Unspoke Riders signing out from the Zero Car Garage.